Today is the 3rd of April, and it's time for yet another not particularly interesting, very vague and probably quite boring vlog. So what we're going to talk about is something that came up unexpectedly over the weekend. I want you to maybe follow me if you're still here, as to a sort of series of events. So it was a very nice day on Easter Sunday. The weather was all right. I was told that maybe it was going to be a bit rubbish, but actually it was absolutely fine. And that was the bi-monthly Lockheath Classic Car Club event. And actually, because it was Easter Sunday, there were a lot more people there. So the weather was good. You'll notice in the video that was released yesterday at the time of recording that there were lots and lots of people there and lots of lovely cars. In fact, some of those cars in the video I've already driven. Some of them, I have been offered to drive, and some of them might be coming up that I want to, but I haven't done that yet. So, that's very exciting. So there I was using the same old phone that I've used since November 2019 that I bought for doing no budget reviews, and it was second hand when I bought it. I was going to replace that phone originally last year, but I just kind of kept it because the size of it and the weight of it is so small, and actually the picture quality is perfectly acceptable most of the time, that I've kept it. So that's what I normally do that event on. Recently, when I was at the NEC Practical Classics Classic Car Restoration Show, I also continued to use it. For certain videos I have, others I also use, but that's because it's so compact and light. It's just handy to carry that around as opposed to a big old thing. So what actually happened on the particular day was that about halfway through the video, the club chairman wanted to make an announcement, and as opposed to just shutting the phone off, I kept it on pause, which was, in hindsight, not the best idea. I'd had the phone shut off on me before when it ran out of battery, and it runs out of battery about 30%, now it's really old. And I hadn't had any problems retrieving the footage. So I thought, well, if it does run out of battery, then I'll be able to get it back. It won't be a problem. It'll just come back. So he made his speech, which was interesting, about some, things coming up in the club and some things I might want to go to. And that was fine. But then I resumed where I'd left off, and, about half an hour in, I think like 32, 33 minutes in, the phone inevitably died, and I thought, no problem, I'll get the other one out, and we'll continue with what we were trying to do in the first place. But when I came to take the footage from the phone onto the computer, the video hadn't recorded properly, and it just hadn't ended. And sometimes that happens, a file was what we call corrupt, and what can you do if that happens, if the file's corrupt? I've known people who had corrupted files but have to go back and film whatever they were filming again. There's somebody who I know, who you probably know as well, who had to film the same car 3 times with corrupted files. And it just happened to be on my video world. It happens, you lose stuff. But this was about 95% of the entire video was this particular file. And looking through various options of what to do, it took me about 2 days to work out that I could get it back, and to wait for the software that I found to actually upload the video, upload a kind of comparison for the same camera that you have to use in order to sort it out. Then you have to wait for it to render, which takes hours and hours and hours, and then you have to download it, and then you've got to edit it into the main video, and then you've got to wait for it to render, and then you've got to upload it to the channel. So what you actually see in terms of what goes up tends to be quite a long process. Even for me, with the limited editing that I do on those videos, it is quite a long process, even if you don't have this thing up. Miraculously, after I think about 36 hours, I managed to get a video to be sort of okay. It's not quite the same quality it would have been originally, because it's been processed through something else. and actually the piece of software I found I had to actually pay to do it. So I was thinking, is this actually worth it? Do we just lose this video entirely? Do we lose something that actually was, I think, quite enjoyable anyway? A lot of the people in the club are very kind. They watch my videos and they like to see them, which is wonderful. So, or do I just say I'm slacking it off and we're just not going to have it? In the end, I decided that I would pay the money to export the footage that had been through the software, and I managed to put it into a long video, but a video that actually exists, rather than one that doesn't exist. And actually, the two things that I learned then, one is that ancient phone is going to have to go into the bin. It let me down too many times, but it's not that it's fault particularly, it's a very old piece of equipment which I should have given up using a long time ago. And secondly, when I have a major sort of break in the middle of filming like that, I don't use the pause button. I just stop it, because it's very easy just to shove the two bits together, and you just don't want to go in a situation again where you lose a lot of very hard work, and people probably get disappointed when that happens, even if, you know, it's kind of not your fault. Because before that it would have been fine, but if it's crucial moment it wasn't. And so probably this is very boring for most of you, and you don't really care. All you want to see is a video. You don't care about the sort of creation process of anything at all. But for those of you who are interested in this kind of thing, and I know some of you actually are, I just thought I would expand a little bit on what had happened and why sometimes things just go wrong. It's very frustrating when they do, even if you put in a relatively little amount of time on something and you hadn't spent tons of money in filming it, which just go a little local show you don't. But that is part of being on YouTube, whatever type of channel that you have, and sometimes this just goes on, and that's why sometimes you see somebody announcing something and then you don't see the video from it. And there are many reasons why you might drop a video. I know James Martin's dropped several videos, for example, on his channel over the course of many years, and there's one video that I think he refilmed again 2 years after the first one, or even more. And one thing I've been trying to do for 4 years, which you've probably never seen or even know about, but we've been trying to film a certain car for 4 years, and it's never worked so far. Now I hope that at some point this year that will happen. What I'm saying is, like, whenever there's a channel update or someone hints at something, don't necessarily think that if you don't see it, it's their fault entirely. That they don't like you or anything like that if you're saying excited. Sometimes these things just happen, and sometimes you can get things back, and sometimes you can't. It's just the way that it is. Anyway, thank you ever so much indeed once again for watching. Let's let this ambulance go past. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like this video, comment below, and we shall see you again in the next one, hopefully for something that's a bit less dramatic.